All right, guys. So let's go on to part two of today. So now the next step is we want to be able to delete some colleges here. All right. So if the user, let's say, have gone through, they want to clean up their list here and realize some of the colleges they don't like anymore. Let's go through and add the code to do that. All right. So this one, there's nothing we need to add onto our storyboard. All right. This is all pretty much just a few lines of code that we are going to add in here. Okay. So hopefully you were able to get the code in here to clear out the text field. If not, why don't we start there? All right, so I'm going to bring up Xcode here. I'm going to stop the simulator. All right, so because remember what was happening here is when they were typing in the colleges and they were adding it, the text field wasn't clearing out. So we want to make sure we set that up so when they press the button, the text field's empty. They can put a new one in there. So if you weren't able to figure that one out, the simple step is my text field.text, and then you can just put in our quotes here to clear that out. We can also type in my text field dot resign first responder. All right, so that way when they press the button, the text field goes away. So that that's a nice feature for them as well. Okay, so moving on here. So today, the last thing we want to do, okay, for today, so we've got it kind of makes sense. We've shown you how to add information. How do you delete information? All right, so I'm just going to leave a comment, information, or I'm going to say delete row from table. All right, and it's it's not too many steps here. Okay, but once we do this here, we'll have a nice looking app. So to do that, we're gonna need to bring a table view function in here. So remember, since we have a table view controller, these functions we can bring up here because we have access to the toolbox. So we're going to look for something that's called commit editing style. Okay, so now we want to make sure you can see there's two choices here. There's when we choose one, we're looking for the one that. So I chose the first one here. This one's the incorrect one. We want to make sure we get the override function. Okay, so we need to delete that one. All right, and we're going to try that again. If we choose the second one, okay, the second one, what we're looking for here, and then if we hit enter on that, you'll notice we've got override. So please make sure when you're doing this that you choose the function that has the override just to match up the other ones up top here. Okay, so this function, it basically allows you to do some editing to our tables. Okay, so it's nice again because this is part of the table view kind of family, so we don't have to type all this out. We can just auto-complete it from our toolbox here. All right, so there's a few things we're going to do inside this function. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is an if statement. So we're going to say if editing style. All right, so we're going to determine that, and then we're going to say if that's the same as UI table view cell editing style. Let's see where I can find it. Here we go. So that's what we're looking for. So UI table view cell editing style. Okay, dot delete. Okay, so what that means here, okay, is basically, table views have kind of built-in ability where if you swipe to the right, information, they might give you the option to delete it. Actually, let me run this here for you. I'm going to see if I can show that to you, just so you have an idea of what I'm talking about here. All right, so when it loads up here, if I take here, so there's my finger, if I were to swipe, it builds in this ability to, that's the editing style it's talking about here. Okay, so when I click delete, nothing happens right now. That's what we're going to change. All right, we're going to give the ability, so when I click delete, that row goes away. Okay, so coming back in here, all right, so that's what this line of code means right here. So if editing style is equal, so basically it's saying if you swipe and that delete thing is up there, that means they're the same thing. So if that's happening here, we got to do a few things. The first thing is we want to take the college out of the array. So if you remember in the last step, where we at here, we added to the array. This is the opposite. So we're going to go colleges dot remove. Okay, so as opposed to append, we're going to remove it from the array. And then for this one, so we're not going to remove the text field, all right, because that doesn't really make much sense. We're just going to remove the index out of the array. So we're just going to say index path.row. So what that will do is based on what row you're swiping on, that it'll pick up that index and it'll know that that's the one you want to remove. Okay. Next thing is we got to communicate with the table view. All right, so we can say my table view dot delete rows. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. All right, again, when you click on delete rows, it gives you a function with some parameters. We got to pass a couple things in here. All right, so we're going to say index path, and it's going to be an array of index. So we're going to put those inside these square brackets, and then it's going to be with UI table view row animation dot automatic. Okay, basically this means it's going to get that information out. Okay, so that code, all right, should get rid of a college when we swipe and click the delete button. So let's give it a test here to see if this in fact works. All right, so here's our colleges. So let's say Michigan's no longer in the running. I swipe, I click delete, and you can see very nicely just kind of not fades away, just kind of goes away. All right, so when I click Illinois, that's gone. All right, I can still add in my colleges. All right, and it's just going to add in, but let's say Kansas is gone. So we've got a pretty good functioning looking app here. So we can add colleges. All right, if I type it in there, pressing it, it clears out. And we can delete colleges by swiping and deleting it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, so I think we should be pretty happy with the progress of our app right now. The last couple things we'll add to it is we'll just talk about how to reorder the colleges. So, like if you want to maybe reorganize by preference, and then also the ability to, if you wanted to, to change the color of the background. So when you click on it, maybe change the different colors when you click just to show the highlight in there as well. So we'll get to that tomorrow here. All right, so what I want you to try right now, so once you get done with this video, is out on our storyboard, let's add the ability to add another piece of information. Actually, you know what? We're going to hold off on that right now, just because before I gave you that step there, I foresaw some problems happening, so we're good right now. So go ahead, you can close off this video here, run the app. Please make sure you run it and just then actually use the app on your computer to make sure it works. If you want to come up and see me, I'll get you the other MacBook in the room so you can test yours out. Very important you do that just to make sure it does work. All right, so that way you're going to get an A+ on this thing. All right, so good job today. Some good steps that we work through. All right, but then from there we'll check in here as a class in a little bit, but you're all good for now. Nice job.